Hello, everyone. Um, I am the world's biggest geek hosting this live review of Captain America: Brave New World. Surprising. The black guy's reviewing the movie where the black guy is Captain America. I am also joined by KitchenAid Whiskey Jones and Brave New Taste. Oh, Gasology Brave New Taste. I'm sorry, I can't. I have. I'm illiterate. So, when was the last time a Marvel movie came out? All right, 2024, where we got Deadpool and Wolverine. And that was a pretty well received movie, I would say so myself. I think I enjoyed the movie. And we that was the only Marvel movie that we got during 2024. We went on a complete hiatus after that point. And one of the movies released that we're planning on being released in 2025 was Captain America: Brave New World. We would finally get a long-awaited movie with Sam Wilson as Captain America. It only took 4 years. We saw more of Captain Carter than we saw of literally Captain America in the MCU. But hey, better late than never, I guess. And this is basically continuing off of the TV show The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a TV show that gets a lot of mixed reviews. Some people like it, others hate it. Some people have reasons for hating it. Others love it for other different reasons. But during that show, we finally got to see Falcon become Captain America. So, I'm gonna. Digital Overload with a comment. Brave New World was meh. So yes, for those who do not know, this movie was plagued with a lot of behind the scenes drama. We had reshoots, a lot of reshoots, rewrites, budget constraints, actors getting casted in at the last minute. At the last minute, it basically ended up becoming another Suicide Squad / Justice League debacle. And many were wondering if this movie was ever even going to come out. Some were wondering if this movie was even going to make a budget because apparently there were rumors that it was going to have a $400 million budget, which is completely false. The budget is around 180 million. And on top of that, controversy with people having a problem with Anthony Mackie being Captain America, comments being taken out of context, and overall just this movie basically no one really believed in this movie. No one really believed in this movie. Oh, Lego fan. The 6-month reshoots were also false. Same with the negatives. Yeah. So basically, there was a lot of bad press around this movie, and it seemed like Disney and with Marvel didn't really give a fuck about this movie. They clearly did not care. And actually, a Marvel exec said that working on this film was one of the hardest things. There was a lot of like tension and drama. So I believe all the money went to the Red Hulk. Yeah. But now I'm gonna open the floor. I'm usually, how I usually do with these reviews. I don't normally go like one by one, or it's really a free for all. So, but I can start with how I feel about this movie. I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was pretty solid. Now there are definitely problems with this movie, and we will talk about those problems. But I actually like this movie. It wasn't anything offensive. It wasn't anything, preachy, or it felt like an MCU movie that would have came out during like phase 2 or phase 3. If we look at all the MCU movies that we've gotten since Endgame with Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Eternals, Shang-Chi, those kind of movies, this movie wasn't that bad. I would say it's probably some of the best work we've gotten since Endgame. And believe me, we've had more misses than hits. I think Anthony Mackie was amazing as Captain America. I think he definitely proved that he is capable of being a leading man in a role like this. For those of you, and by the way, we do not spread hate or any type of hate on this channel. So for those who do not like this movie because it's a black man representing Captain America, please do not watch this video because it's ridiculous at this point. He got the shield fair and square. Bucky didn't get the shield. Move on, let it go. For all the people out there who clearly are masking their racism with the fact that, oh, it's not my Captain America, get over it. mean, y'all been doing the same with Miles Morales. You won't call Miles Morales Spider-Man. You'll just call him Miles Morales. You won't call any diversity character. You'll just call them by their actual name and not their character. Just stop doing it. Anthony Mackie proved that he was worthy of being Captain America. That's all I have to say. But yeah, we'll all talk about the positives first, and then we'll get to the negatives. So I'm opening the floor for Rome's, Zach, and Mark if he's still watching. Are you all set?
I'm here.
All right. So positives.
Yeah, I'll go last. But,
okay. So positives. What positives did we find with this film? Because come on, there has to have been positives.
I honestly thought that out of all the characters, as much as I love Sam Wilson in this film, I think the character with the best arc and the one that I empathized with most, shockingly, was Thunderbolt Ross. Like you could, I liked how they showed that like he's still flawed, but trying to make up for the mistakes of his past and all that, while still not being perfect. And I actually thought it was kind of tragic at the end that he turned into Red Hulk. Heck, honestly, I wish that they wouldn't have marketed Red Hulk in this movie at all. Had that be like not exactly a twist, but like the holy shit reveal. Like this is what the villain's ultimate revenge is, what he's working to. And I'll say this, for all the behind the scenes drama, whatever that may have been, the pacing and the structure of the movie, while not perfect, is much more competently done than you would honestly expect out of a movie like this. It's the middle part is pretty much the only part of the movie where I thought there were any pacing issues. But overall, I thought that it had a very solid middle, beginning, and an end. There was still a structure to this. And my last thing that I'll down my praise about this movie is that this is the first time since like not just Endgame, but Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where it felt like a cohesive universe. Like they're actually continuing off of things, building up to things. Things that have happened in the previous films matter. They're all coming to a head in something for once. We haven't had that even in some of the other good MCU films for a long time. Everything just felt like filler shit, whether it be the good or the bad. So, yeah. I was overall really positive in this movie. Like, I went into it hoping to enjoy it, but at the same time, I was like, I wouldn't have been surprised if I didn't enjoy it. But all around, I liked enough to where I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
All right. So,
cool.
Zach has it a 7 out of 10. All right, Rome, what about you?
Yeah.
What a positive. We're going over positives first. So, what positive?
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
All right. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, perfect. Positive is, Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford and Carl Lumbly. I thought those were the three like big highlights. Both Anthony Mackie shows that he can carry a movie. He is a lead actor, and he brought a really good performance. Same with Harrison Ford. I thought those two were really the two big standouts. I really liked Carl Lumbly a lot. I like that he got a lot of stuff in this to do. And I love the moments between him and Anthony Mackie on screen, as Sam Wilson and Isaiah Bradley, where you have this connection, this I don't even want to call it a mentor relationship, but there's something there that I wish they would have further explored in this movie. I think the problem with this movie is they tried to use the Civil War storyline, the Winter Soldier storyline for this movie, where like they had a, where they had to like, oh well, Isaiah Bradley did this, now we got to go save Isaiah Bradley or like protect him, or he didn't do it, and the whole Winter Soldier tone, which it's odd, but I that's another thing. The other thing I like is that they're trying to get back to try to tell solo movies again, than giving these big like let's make one movie and then we have to connect to another movie. Let's try to make it more of a self-contained story. I think that outside of that, I mean, those are things I really liked about the movie. I think everything else just had a lot of bad editing issues and a lot of panic about this movie, where they had to do a lot of rewrites, re-editing, and you can just see it right on the screen.
The only time where I saw the reshoots was like towards the end. That was very obvious. Like we're like with the Red Hulk fight, which we'll talk about in the negatives.
Yeah.
I mean, positives that I had really I love Danny Ramirez. I thought he was pretty cool. I thought he was pretty solid. I thought he was a good addition to the MCU. Isaiah Bradley, also, I wish we got to see more of him. It is so clear. It's so clear that this movie was supposed to be longer than an hour and 58 minutes or an hour and 50 minutes. Like, I feel like this should have been a longer movie. This should have, like, I felt like this is going by way too quickly. I was looking at the runtime. I'm like, oh, we only have 3 minutes left. Like, when does Red Hulk come in?
Because, dude, like you have all of these plot lines that you're trying to address, not only from other movies, but within your own movie also, and it's this short.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, because Civil War was how long? What, 2 hours and 25 minutes? It should have been around that.
And I will say, honestly, yeah, Harrison Ford is Thunderbolt Ross. I think this is like the first time we've actually seen him have a character arc. Because in The Incredible Hulk, he really didn't have that much of a character to go off of. I mean, he was pretty much like the, antagonist to, Bruce. In Civil War, he was basically just the secretary. So this is the first time we've actually see have an arc for Thunderbolt Ross. And I actually felt for his character. I did. Harrison Ford did a really good job. I mean, Harrison Ford is like a really good actor, and he actually gave a shit in this movie, surprisingly. I would say that it really I'll hold it off till we get to the negatives, because I have a bone to pick with the certain things that they did in this movie. Because as an Incredible Hulk fan, it really irks me that we have all of these characters from the Incredible Hulk in a Captain America movie.
Yeah. Thank you.
What? Like, why are we having? We have for no spoiler alert. We have Liv Tyler's Betty Ross. We have Harrison Ford's Thunderbolt Ross. We have Tim Blake Nelson's the leader. It references Harlem multiple times. It references the Incredible Hulk multiple times, and it references Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Why are we?
It has Red Hulk in it too. I mean, dear God, you had the whole fucking cast there. Jesus, I mean,
oh my God!
I'm actually going to.
The leader looked terrible. He looked like his brain looked like it had. His brain looked like it had fungus.
I was so distracted by that shit. I just kept looking at that like.
Mark, same here.
Like literally, and I guess we're talking about the negatives now, because literally.
Wait a minute. I actually am going to put the Red Hulk fight in my positives, not only for the fight itself, which I actually thought was pretty cool aside from the green screen, but I actually, well, not thematically, but I like the way they did it, like, because it all fit into Ross's character arc. Like when he turns towards the end of the film, he's doesn't just go all rage right away. He sees looking at himself like, what have I become and all that. And then at the end, I actually like that he doesn't freaking die, not only because I am sick to goddamn death of Marvel doing one-offs for some of these villains. Like, they show up one and done, dead, but it actually fits for his redemption arc. It would have felt disingenuous to set up all this attempted redemption for him just to die right away. So I'm excited and invested to see where he's going to go in the future.
Jack, I hear you, but I don't know if you noticed. Harrison Ford is literally almost 80. He might be in his 80s. What redemption arc are we getting?
Thank you. I mean,
I don't mean it. Listen, I don't mean to be harsh or anything. I love Harrison Ford, but I don't think he planned. I don't think he plans on playing him for the next 10 fucking years.
No, I seriously.
No, I don't expect it.
Like, and clearly in the set photos, he was supposed to die, because we saw Liv Tyler at what it looked like to be a funeral. So, I'm not wishing anything bad. I'm being realistic here. I mean,
it would have made.
I don't think he's literally almost 80 years old.
Hey, can I say another positive about the movie? Going into this movie, after hearing so much negative about this movie, I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't as bad as they made it sound to be, because it's not a bad movie. It's just there's just no real stakes at it. The tone just didn't feel like it belonged in a movie theater. It felt like it belonged on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And I thought the writers who wrote this movie just didn't watch Falcon the Winter Soldier and just was like, because there's moments in this movie where Sam is kind of like, man, I wish I took the super soldier serum. I wish I did this. Or
Yeah.
there's certain things where I'm like, we just went through this in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Why are we back to this? Why are we back to him not taking the super soldier serum when he had a chance to? Is that supposed to be a joke? Like, what are we doing here? Like, what direction?
I
is
don't
Sam
think
going?
it's because in the show it was more about whether or not he feels he deserves the shield. So that is a part of his arc that I liked in this film. Is just how physically vulnerable he is. You know, addressing how physically vulnerable he is.
But it's like he literally said Steve made a mistake in the movie, even though he clearly had that self-doubt in the show. That's why he gave him the shield in the
And
first
what he
place.
did with that? Why are we going over this plot
Like,
point?
yeah, that was
Exactly.
when I saw that, I was like, Sam, why are we doing this again? Like,
Yeah.
Why are we doing this again? You clearly, it's not. I mean, I get it, but it's like, why are we doing this again?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not. We never like. This wasn't an issue in the beginning of the movie. I mean, he pretty much. I mean, and it's clear that he's been Captain America for a while now. So why is he now having this self-doubt? I'm not saying he shouldn't have self-doubt all the time, because obviously he's a replacement for Steve Rogers. He shouldn't. I'm not saying he shouldn't have self-doubt, but why is he saying it to Bucky of all people?
Exactly. We just had a conversation in the TV Falcon Winter Soldier. Like, why are we back to this conversation again?
Honestly,
but by the way, spoiler alert, Bucky is in this movie. It's a brief cameo, but Bucky is in this movie.
But I mean, honestly, I just, oh God. I want to, first of all, let me piggyback on what you said, Jay. Yeah, I agree completely. The ones who have a problem with the Black Captain America can just, please do us all a favor and drink horse dewormer for your health, please, so. Because there's no room for that shit, I mean, come on. Because I'm not the biggest Anthony Mackie fan, but I do like him as Captain America. I didn't like the film, but he is good for what he's given. I mean, Anthony, he's actually like him better as Captain America than I did as Falcon. The only problem I have is that, and I know why he wants to do it, the whole thing about him wanting to do it without the super serum. But I mean, to me, he has more in common without the super serum. Him just relying on technology, he has more in common with Iron Man than Captain America. I mean, he might as well just be Iron Patriot for all that matters. So I mean, but I mean, either way, I mean, I do like him as Cap. I do like Anthony in this movie.
Anthony,
I really like Carl Lumbly as Isaiah Bradley. I really wish they had a lot more of him.
I wish we had a spin-off of Carl Lumby's Isaiah Bradley.
Seriously, I would love to see that.
After Falcon Winter Soldier, I wanted something. I would have taken that over the Agatha show they decided to do. His spin-off I think would have been very interesting, especially seeing the stuff that he went through and endured for 20, 30 plus years.
Yeah, but but it's Disney. They don't have the balls.
I know.
They don't have the balls. They don't have the balls to make an actual good Disney Plus Marvel show that actually tackles real issues. They don't have the balls.
They came close with Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I will commend them for that. They actually tried their best, because Disney didn't want certain things to be in the show. They didn't want Sam to have money issues. They didn't want Sam to be harassed by the cops. I know the people meme the hell out of the speech, but even though it's corny, it still is. It is kind of a necessary thing. Now, granted, why is Sam defending the people that are labeled? I'm sorry, but what they did was an act of terrorism, which therefore they were terrorists. I'm sorry. I understand where he was trying to say, but still they were terrorists. But Disney doesn't have the guts to really tell vulnerable stories that actually tackle real life issues. If they did, we wouldn't have gotten a fat Thor. We would have had a very different version of WandaVision and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. We would have they would have actually taken these characters and their struggle seriously instead of making it a fucking joke. Which, by the way, I'm glad that this movie and its comedy is not that corny. I mean, yeah, granted, it has some lines where I'm like, really? I still think that line, since when were they red? I still think it's corny. It wasn't funny in the trailer, and it's not funny in the movie.
When did they come in red?
Like, seriously, the dude turns into a goddamn Hulk, and the first thing you're saying is, since when did they come in red? Really?
It's a good throwaway line that they probably are like, well, they were reshooting that scene. and trying to come up with stuff to say during the movie because they've had to like threw half the script out and rewrite it as they were shooting the movie.
That
Reshooting
was
the
clearly
Can we-
meant for the trailer. That was
It's
Can we
like,
just
you
put
know,
this
it's like
to bed
the,
for a second now?
wait a minute,
Because-
wait. It's like this. It's like the SpongeBob joke, you know, with Mr. Krabs at the man's grave. Am I really going to ruin the tension of this movie? Am I really going to ruin the dramatic tension of this movie with a cheap one-liner? Of course I am. So
I mean, it did it a couple of times. Even the one where it's, Bucky gave a good speech to Sam, and then Sam,
that too.
write it for you, and it's supposed to be you're supposed to be laughing, but you're like, no, like,
yeah.
you kind of ruin the moment. They
Yeah.
ruined a few good moments in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me. I didn't like the. I got to disagree with you, Zach. I didn't like the fights in this whatsoever. I hated the fight in the when they tried to assassinate Ross in the thing because it was just you couldn't tell what was going on. It was just assholes and elbows, as I like to say. I mean, you couldn't tell who was fighting who or what. I mean, it's like what the hell is going on here? You know, it's just a bunch of confusion. I mean,
I felt like I missed something that whole like fight opening scene.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was more than one shot. I'm like,
something-
I didn't know what the hell was going on. I thought they were shooting at him. I'm like, what? Those are assassins too. I didn't realize there was more than one assassin. I'm like, what the hell?
What's going on? It was a whole what's going on. You just couldn't. It wasn't clear exactly what was going on in the scene.
No, exactly. Where did he get a gun anyway? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
that's a good question. Where did he get a gun?
Where did he get a gun? I mean, why did they let him walk into the fucking White House with a gun? I mean,
he beat up the guard first, remember, and then took his gun.
Oh,
I thought he just grabbed the gun or something and then start shooting at him. Whoever he was next.
I mean, I will say, as far as the fighting scenes, one of the things that I did like is that clearly, you know, Sam isn't a super soldier, so I actually do like how it's tougher for him to like take down, you know, like people that he's fighting. Because let's be real here. Steve has never had an issue fighting an average Joe in any of the Marvel movies that he's been in. The only time that he's ever had a problem fighting somebody, and two of those don't even count, is Thanos, Iron Man, Bucky, and that Crossbones guy. Those are 4 people.
Yeah. And Hulk.
Oh yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
did he
In
fight the Hulk?
in the first Avengers, they did kind of, sort of.
He fought the Hulk.
Kind of, sort of.
Did he fight the Hulk?
I mean, when Banner transformed, they kind of came to blows.
But no, I don't think Captain America ever fought him. Actually, I think I mean it was Thor.
Maybe
Thor was the one that really.
It was mostly Thor, but
maybe in Age of Ultron,
yeah.
maybe somewhere that there was a moment.
Maybe.
I don't remember.
But I do like how Sam has a harder time, and that makes him more relatable. Like that makes him more relatable.
I just don't think he has any business fighting Red Hulk. It's like, come on, what's he gonna do against Red Hulk? I mean,
they had no. Listen, I'm sorry. No shade to Batman v Superman, but because I love the movie.
Yeah.
But Red Hulk and Captain America fighting in this movie felt more pointless than in the theatrical cut of BVS. Because literally in the theatrical cut, there was no reason for Batman and Superman to fight. It was literally just, the name of the movie is Batman v Superman. So
yeah, the theatrical cut was shitty. I mean, they really screwed Zach on that.
Yeah,
there was no reason for Hulk. Like literally,
I agree. I mean, there's no reason for Hulk villains to be in this. I mean, it's like you just want to make a Hulk movie without Hulk. I mean, what the hell?
Oh my god! You know what?
The villain should have been Sidewinder. I mean, he was far more interesting. Jesus Christ, man!
Oh my
I
god!
will agree with you.
I forgot. Just like how the movie forgot. Giancarlo Esposito's in this movie for like 7 minutes.
Yeah,
damn good for
and
what
the thing is, like he's doing such a good job for so little.
Yeah.
Like what? Like what was the point of having Giancarlo Esposito
I think
in
originally
this movie?
I think in the original movie he was supposed to be the villain or a main villain in this movie or something.
Yeah. Reshoots.
And they reshot and cut him to 7 minutes or made him like a side villain like Frank Grillo and Winter Soldier.
You have one of the greatest villain actors of our generation, and you demote him from main villain to least important villain? Really?
Honestly, at this point, it's like if I was Giancarlo Esposito, I low-key would stop playing villain roles after this movie because it's like, can I stop? Like, how do you get someone as good as him, and he's only in the movie for like 7 minutes, and he only has one good fight scene with Captain America, which was a good fight scene. That was a really good fight scene because we saw Sam, be creative and shit. Even
Oh,
though,
absolutely.
even though I'm surprised, bro was able to tank a knife to the shoulder and a hatchet to the gut. I mean, I thought he was wearing like some protective gear, but I'm like, oh, so he's not wearing protective gear.
It was a good scene. That whole scene between him and when his truck gets blown up, and that whole thing between Esposito.
Yeah, that's.
Oh
really
yeah, he wasn't supposed to be in
I gotta
this movie.
say, that's some plot armor bullshit that he did.
Okay, that's interesting.
You knew he wasn't going to die, but I mean, come on.
Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, Giancarlo wasn't supposed to be in this movie.
That's weird. I thought he was.
Okay, so I said earlier I have a bone to pick with the negatives in this movie. So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
2008, The Incredible Hulk comes out, and there was a character in the movie that was set up for a potential sequel. It was Tim Blake Nelson's Dr. Stearns. And in the movie, we saw Abomination knock him to the ground, and blood, Bruce Banner's blood that he was experimenting on, lands on him, and they were teasing the leader. So we don't get a sequel to The Incredible Hulk, which I find complete bullshit. We waited 17 years, and in between that, Tim Blake Nelson also got screwed over of playing the Mole Man in Fan Four Stick. We waited 17 years, and this is what you do? 17 years, and this is what you have to offer.
Yeah.
Fun guy, man.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? So not only has the MCU fucked up with MODOK, another villain that I was very excited for them to do, and AIM. We don't have AIM in the MCU, and I really wanted them to do that. You also fucked up the leader. And as an Incredible Hulk fan, and as a Hulk fan in general, that really rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
It really rubs me the wrong way.
Because in the promo material, it actually looks good. You know, I mean,
exactly. What the fuck? Like,
why the hell would you go with that?
I'm not even exaggerating. When he was in the shadows, I was like, oh, I wonder what the leader's gonna look like. I swear to you, when he turned the light on, I said, holy shit. I was like, holy
what
shit.
The fuck is this shit?
It was so distracting. I was like,
you look very not well, man.
What the
honestly,
fuck
if I thought it looked
if it were in front of me, I would just be going, ew. I would just be rubbing it. Yeah, I would just be like touching his head, like, ew. Like, could you just like hit this guy really hard on the top of the head, knock him out? It's just like his brain is right there.
And not even that. The leader's supposed to be like one of the fucking smartest characters and the smartest villains. Yeah. Hey, dude, if you didn't hear me, I said hey when I put up your comment. But the leader's supposed to be one of the smartest characters and villains in the MCU, and literally every single one of his like calculations was foiled. He's not even a villain in this movie. He doesn't do anything like
he does nothing.
He's never
gives up. That's all. I mean, when he does the logical thing, the simple thing he could have done, he just gave up and just reported it to the press. I'm like, dude, you could have done that years ago. You could have done that 10 years ago, man. What the hell?
Hey,
to me, this reminded me of. I felt like the was playing the the Zemo character. Yeah, the Baron Zemo character from Civil War. That's what his role was. Like, let's get these two to go against each other and let's create this whole mess.
But Baron Zemo actually was a good villain in Civil War.
But that worked in Civil War where they're trying to do. It just felt like they were trying to do the same crap. Yeah,
I didn't like seriously the design of them, but I mean,
I thought the design looked fine. But keep in mind, I'm an outsider as far as comics and lore and accuracy and all that. So.
I mean, dude, they legitimately they ruined him. I can't even decide which is worse. What they did with MODOK or what they did with the leader.
Yeah.
Let's be fair though. I mean, MODOK is just a character that looks ridiculous in any fashion that you put him in. So,
Devin, did you send it to me on Messenger? If you did, I can play it because Devin wanted to give his review on Captain America.
But I actually thought the design looked creepy on its own merits. So I don't know.
He just looked cheaply made.
All right, I can read you guys' reviews. So right, dude. So okay, I'll play. All right. I will play. Crap. Where is it at? Damn it.
Play crap.
No, wait, no. Damn it. This is. Oh yeah, Lego fan. This is a sequel to Incredible Hulk Eternals, copying Winter Soldier, a prequel to X-Men. Oh yeah, I forgot they talk about adamantium. Like,
Exactly. He's
yeah.
right.
Oh yeah,
He's
that's
right.
like,
Animation, yeah.
dude, that's
Look,
like one of
it's
my.
adamantium. Which, be honest, that's the only reason you like it, Zach, is because they talked about adamantium.
No, I actually liked it,
Happy X-Men fans.
dude. Like Mark, my favorite thing in the movie was Ross.
Yeah, he was just okay to me. I mean, honestly, he just wasn't given much to work with. I mean, Jesus, it's like, why? I don't know. I don't like the whole idea of Ross redeeming Ross. Like, why do we need to redeem Ross? Ross is a piece of shit.
Because everyone needs to be redeemed.
Exactly. We don't need to redeem everybody, for crying out loud. I would have made him more of a, orange guy like character. Not to bring up politics, but I mean, I would have just leaned into that shit.
But here's the thing though, like I will say that though. I mean, they're teasing they're referencing adamantium throughout the whole movie, and I think it was Rome that said you could tell that the end credit scene was changed. You could tell, like, that's what the end credit scene should have been. Oh, Devin.
All right, guys. All right, so I'm about to play Devin's review.
That movie sucks!
He had a much longer review, I think, didn't he?
He did. I'm trying to find it and I can't. Crap.
That
Sorry.
movie,
sorry.
what?
Sorry.
That
dude.
movie what? I mean, Devin, come on. I mean, the movie what? You were saying that movie.
Oh,
and then
okay. Found it. Okay, found it.
Yeah.
Found it. Found it. All right, found it.
All right, so I am here as a disembodied voice to give you my review of Captain America: Brave New World. And like with most MCU movies, I really wasn't excited for this movie. I had no hope for it. Just hearing about all the constant reshoots and production problems, I had a feeling this movie was going to be crap. And absolutely shocker to absolutely nobody, it was. I thought this movie was crap and easily one of the worst movies of the MCU.
Wow.
If there's anything I did like in this movie, Anthony Mackie was easily my favorite part of the movie, as well as his chemistry with the new Falcon. I really liked him as Captain America, and I still stand by Sam picking him to be the new Captain America absolutely made sense, and this is more than proof why. Sam is fitting for the role of Cap. Surprisingly, Harrison Ford was actually not bad in this as Thunderbolt Ross, considering how badly he phoned it in Dial of Destiny.
He did not.
He did.
Anything else? Not really.
But it's not his fault. That movie is dog shit.
First of all, the story is nothing special. It's just trying to retread on Winter Soldier, except it gets everything wrong that movie got right, because the story here is not very interesting. I actually found this movie to be one of the more boring movies in the MCU. No joke. I legit fell asleep at one point. Not just because I worked a long shift at my job, but I don't know. I just didn't give a shit about anything that was happening. I really didn't care. I sound like a broken record when I'm talking about the negatives about an MCU movie. They're still here. The CGI still looks like absolute shit. The action still looks bad. The humor and the quips are still cringy and poorly placed. The villains suck. They're like on par with the more forgettable villains. Like, why the hell was Giancarlo Esposito in this movie? What purpose did he serve? Why was he here? You could have cut him out and nothing would change. And the biggest disappointment, in my opinion, was the leader. We waited 17 fucking years to see this guy in a movie after he was set up in The Incredible Hulk. And now that we finally got him, he's finally the villain. And instead of, the comic accurate look promised from the Funko Pops and the concept art, we get a knockoff Toxic Avenger.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Really? I hate how he looks.
Yeah.
He's not menacing. He's not a good villain. And Tim Blake Nelson was just phoning it in. Not to mention, oh my God, for fuck's sake, man. False advertising, Marvel. Like, you were so fucking desperate to get people into the seats, knowing that this movie was going to be a failure. With all the constant reshoots and re-edits, you've had all the trailers were setting up the fight with Cap and Red Hulk, and it's at the very end of the movie. The thing that's all over the fucking posters and the trailers and the standees and everything, he doesn't show up until the very end of the movie. And once again, it's another villain defeated with a heart-to-heart conversation.
I call it a lullaby.
Sure, why the fuck not? As if we haven't fucking seen this before. And speaking of which, the reshoots are absolutely noticeable, combined with the terrible green screen, the choppy editing and pacing. Like, I knew this movie was going to be crap, and it gave me exactly what I wanted, what I was expecting. I'm not super duper pissed off, but this movie sucked, man. It fucking sucked. It's not the worst thing in the MCU. It's not worse than She-Hulk or Shit and Blunder.
Oh my God, I forgot about it.
But it's still not good. It's still not good. It's going to, like I said in my review of Deadpool and Wolverine, it's going to take a lot of convincing for me to say, oh yeah, the MCU was back. Fuck yeah, full force. Because, I don't know, when I hear a Marvel movie's announced, I'm just so burnt out, and with Marvel fatigue, I really don't care as much.
Just by the way, what he feels for Marvel movies, that's how I feel about Star Wars. I legitimately get I get mentally exhausted every time a Star Wars project gets announced. But I'm gonna continue with Devin. I'm gonna continue.
Still see the movies because algorithm, but that doesn't mean I'm expecting them to be good. Like, Thunderbolts looks meh, and the only one I'm actually hopeful for is Fantastic Four First Steps. But they really need to do something special with that movie because we have not gotten a good Fantastic Four movie yet. So, Feige, do not let me down because you've been underwhelming me after Endgame, and it looks like that trend still continues. So, if you want my advice, don't watch this movie. It's really not worth it. Just watch Winter Soldier instead. Or if you want to watch a better movie with, Black Hero, watch Black Panther, watch Blade. They're much better. Or watch the Spider-Verse movies. They're much better than this. So, my rating, I'm going to give it like a 2.5 out of 10, and that's mainly for Anthony Mackie. For his first solo movie as Captain America, I expected better.
Now we read Right Dude's review. What's this? Another MCU film that I expected to be bad turned out to be another dud in Marvel's library? I'm shocked. Well, not that shocked. I didn't expect this movie to be good at all from the reshoots to its messy production design. This film seemed like it would be a dead on arrival. Plus, the MCU has been on a downward spiral after Endgame. Sure, you get your hidden gems in there, but the bad outweighs the good in terms of Phase 4 and 5. For every No Way Home, there is an Eternals. For every Wakanda Forever, there is Thor, Shit, and Blunder. For every Deadpool and Wolverine, there is a She-Hulk, Quantumania, or the Marvels. After seeing it, I can sadly say this trend doesn't seem to be stopping. This movie sucked big time. Let me get the positive out the way first. The acting from everyone is fine. Everyone does well for what they are given. You can tell Anthony Mackie is trying his best for what material he is given. Same goes for Harrison Ford as President Ross. And in terms of my negatives, where do I start? First off, the story is a poor man's version of Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It tries to copy that story without knowing what made that movie work in the first film. A story of a superhero that talks about the threat of national security and them defending a fugitive that is seen as a terrorist was done way better in Winter Soldier. I don't mean to be that guy, but this seems more like that's kind of the plot of Civil War. They weren't really defending.
Yeah, like I could see people saying it rehashed Civil War, but Winter Soldier, like there was nothing about secret evil people within the government or whatever. I didn't get any of that.
Yes, it was.
I mean,
but no.
I'll get into it after.
Yeah, but let me continue.
Let him finish. Hush.
The CGI is just as terrible as the other previous MCU films. Everything looks fake and unconvincing. I agree. Even the action scenes look like cutscenes from a PS3 video game. I was seriously expecting someone to yell up, down, right, up, punch, dodge, kick. Seriously, Marvel, can you please stop tormenting your effects artists and give us a good CGI in your movies? If Godzilla -1 taught us anything, you do not need a high budget to give us amazing CGI. Not to mention the editing is atrocious in this. The editing wasn't that bad. The jokes, while not as obnoxious as other previous MCU films, are still present here, and most of them are cringy. Speaking of things being jokes, the villains sucked. First off, how dare you waste Giancarlo Esposito in this movie? A man who is always born to play a bad guy. First TMNT Mutant Mayhem, and now this, which, by the way, I forgot that he was in TMNT, so that should show you that he was wasted.
Baxter.
This man only had 10 to 15 minutes of screen time, which is criminal. Second off, the leader is Tim Blake. The leader is terrible. I really feel bad for Tim Blake Nelson. He had to wait 17 years to play this character, and this is what he gets. Not only does he look laughably bad, but he seems like a whiny teenager who had his iPad taken away. Overall, this movie is a disaster, as I expected. If you want a better MCU film with this kind of story, stick with Winter Soldier. Marvel is so deep in the hole that it will take numerous successes to say that they are back. I will still give Thunderbolts, aka Suicide Squad, aka Diet Suicide Squad, a chance, as well as Fantastic Four Babies. But it's hard to trust Marvel at this point, and it's movies like this and justify that statement. I mean, even though I like the movie, I can agree with the negatives. Like the negative, like the leader was
absolutely.
The leader was so bad.
I mean, you can't defend the negatives. The negatives are what they are.
I have to say one more negative that hasn't been discussed. I know you guys liked him, but Danny Ramirez, and I had to look at his name, Joaquin Torres. I didn't hardly know his name until most of the way through the movie after he got hurt. And he was just bland to me. He seemed like a character out of a CW show. He's the tech guy, fanboy, like the Felicity type on Arrow or something, or what's his name from Flash?
Cisco,
like Cisco from Flash. I mean,
you know what? He was kind of playing exactly like Cisco, because I wasn't really. I wasn't. That's what reminded me of Cisco.
Yes,
like
exactly.
How he was written was really like an annoying Robin.
Yes,
to Sam's Captain America.
An annoying fanboy Robin, because he's always trying to
And Danny Ramirez is great. It's just the writing for his character was just.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with the actor. I just think, that was just the character. There's nothing wrong with the actor. Personally, I don't think he did a bad job.
I didn't mind him. I feel like with the MCU, sometimes it's nothing wrong with having a character who's just excited to be a superhero. I mean, everyone's got to be all like.
Yeah, I thought he was.
No, it's not that. It's just that he didn't stand out in any way to me, Jay. He just kind of was.
I will give this. As far as a character like that, I think Iman Vellani is much more charming in that type of role as Miss Marvel. But for what we got here, I thought he wasn't that bad. Like for as much as I don't like the Marvels, like I finally watched it. My issue is not her. Like I think she was actually the best part of that movie. Honestly,
I love her.
She is the best part of that movie. Literally, if you've seen Miss Marvel, you can see why Iman Vellani is great in the role. She's not the issue with it. It's Brie Larson and everything else. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to turn this into a Brie Larson hate thing. She just really isn't good as the Captain Marvel.
I honestly didn't think the Marvels was that bad. It wasn't. That was the one case where I didn't think it was nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm like, this is actually pleasantly. Somewhat
I mean, the
surprised.
Marvels had a singing along and a dancing moment and some other stuff that just
Like, dude, like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
not to turn this into a Marvels rant, but everything in that movie, honestly, to me, was unwatchable except for her.
I mean, this is the thing. It's like this movie the Marvels could have been something if they weren't afraid of making Captain Marvel look like the bad guy. I mean, Miss Marvel literally idolizes her to the point where she calls herself Miss Marvel because of her. And in this movie, we've seen that Captain Marvel is not really a perfect person, and she is flawed in certain ways. I really would have wished that the movie took guts to make Miss Marvel stop being a freaking fangirl and actually, realize, okay, like maybe, what my idea of you was wrong. I thought you were this, hero, this, that, and the other. Like, they didn't really take any risks with these characters. And Monica Rambeau, I mean, I wish they did something with her besides her literally doing the sacrifice in the last 5 minutes of the movie, only for her to be stranded in a different universe. And then the rest of the characters were all, oh, show me back. Show me back. There was no build up to the sacrifice.
Some of the Marvels, they could have done a story arc between don't meet your idols, your heroes, because they're not what they seem to be on camera or what you think of them, and that would have been a great arc between her and Captain Marvel.
Well, Rome, they didn't do it with Spider-Man and Iron Man. They weren't going to do that for the precious and sweet Captain Marvel.
Nope.
But here's the thing, though. I'm gonna get back to this because, like I said,
they didn't even do it for Ant-Man and Captain and Steve Rogers because he was such a super fan for Steve Rogers.
Yeah, but it was that was cute. Okay, like Ant-Man being a Captain America fanboy was cute, and it's not even like Captain America. Like, I mean, they played it off as comedy because Ant-Man was the butt of the joke. But for someone like Miss Marvel, like they could have done something with that or with Spider-Man, and they didn't do anything with it. They didn't do anything with it. And it's a bit disappointing because I'm one of the few that actually likes Miss Marvel. I think Miss Marvel was a pretty solid show. Now, granted, the villains are terrible. The villains terrible. One of the worst villains in the MCU. But I thought it was a solid TV show. And yeah, I can't believe we're talking about the Marvels. I actually forgot that movie existed.
But here's the thing, though. Who here could tell that because of how much they were talking about adamantium in this movie, that the credit scene was obviously meant to originally tease Wolverine or the Weapon X project in some fashion?
Oh my God!
They were setting some stuff up for Secret Invasion and maybe the X-Men, or just say, hey, you're happy we got this in the MCU now. Leave us alone about it. Because they didn't really have nothing to do with the movie, just to say, yeah, it's now in the MCU.
Zach trying not to talk about X-Men for its X-Men Impossible Challenge. Seriously.
I do feel bad for Anthony Mackie, the fact that his movie was I think the last movie of the Bob Chapek era. Because wasn't it being shot or being made during the Bob
This was
Chapek
supposed to be
run?
this was supposed to come on I think last year or 2023.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Anthony Mackie because it's so clear that he wanted this movie to be good, but it's clear that Disney and Marvel didn't give a shit. They didn't believe in this movie. It's not even I'm not trying to say anything like this for the people who say, oh, black person in movie equals woke. It really wasn't woke. And for you know what? Let me. You know what? I'm gonna address something here because we didn't even talk about this character. I don't know her name, but I'm just gonna call her ex-Black Widow. I'm gonna call her ex-Black Widow.
You're talking about the other
Ruth
girl,
Ben Seraph. Ruth Ben Seraph, or whatever.
I know there was controversy with her character because of I'm not gonna mention it by name, but she's from Israel. Stuff happening in real life. Do with that information as you will.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, her character got scrapped. And even though I wasn't I didn't think her character was annoying or bad or anything. I thought she was solid. It would have been nice to see her actually in the movie with more. I feel like they just left her scenes on the cutting room floor because of the controversy of her character.
Well, yeah, of course they did. There's more to her character as well. I was thinking of the other actress that was playing the Secret Service agent for.
Her too.
It looked like she was just there for a paycheck. It looked like she didn't
really Layla Taylor.
Yeah, that's. I don't know.
You mean that? Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I didn't know who
Female
she
lead,
or what she was. I
yeah,
thought she
Melissa,
was some
yeah.
kind of assistant to him or something. I mean, or to the
Yeah.
That was like Sam saying, I
They
have someone on the
throw away.
inside in the White House to like inform me if like
Yeah.
yeah.
Rob
It's
something
like
like
But they
goes on.
why?
They did nothing with that. You could have
Yeah,
given
they
it
really
to
didn't.
anybody. Yeah.
One criticism that my daughter had of the movie, because she hasn't seen all the series and everything, is she can't even remember Civil War. She's probably seen it, but she can't remember that. She definitely didn't watch Falcon Winter Soldier. She can't remember all that shit. She was like lost watching the film. So I mean, she
That
just
is, yeah,
didn't
that is
know
a
what's going
problem.
on. This is exactly what they don't need to do. This is what fans have started to complain about. Like a lot of casual fans say, "Look, man, I don't want to have to watch a whole bunch of TV shows to know what's going on in the movie." So I mean, but you got this kind of weird balancing act they have where they're trying to balance it because you're going over the exact same things the only one of the show in the movie, and at the same time, if you don't see the show, you really kind of feel lost. So,
But this is the problem though, Mark, because even back then, the MCU used to be so good to the point where even the suckiest Marvel movies like Thor: The Dark World, which by the way, it's not one of the worst MCU movies. It's not that fucking bad. But even movies like that or hell, freaking Captain Marvel, man. Like every movie leading up to Endgame, people watched because
they
it was
did.
and even though it was a chore, people wanted to watch it because of the
Mhm.
MCU being so good. But now that the MCU is like really, I don't want to say
It's
it's
hit or
bad.
miss. Yeah.
It's hit or miss. So like now it's like, oh, what? And this is the problem. This is the problem. So let's talk about let's talk about the post credit scene because we didn't talk about that.
What post credit?
Post credit scene basically teases the multiverse because I said the thinker, the leader. You might as well call him the motherfucking thinker. He's basically the leaders are like, you think you're the
Rodan like that, damn it.
the leader is like, you think you're the only ones in the universe. You think you're the only world? Yes. Thank you for hitting the fucking nail on the goddamn head with that.
Look, what does he get? I mean, they did the ridiculous thing that bad writers always do with super smart characters. I have calculated that. Yeah, he calculated that there was a 77% chance you would try to talk me down. Dude, I could have told you there's 100% fucking chance because it's a Marvel movie. He's going to try to talk you down first, for fuck's sake.
Seriously, if your character who's supposed to be smart has to tell me that they're smart, then they're not smart. But anyways,
superhero, of course, going to talk them down.
But anyways, the post credit scene, right? So the post credit scene basically teases it basically teases Avengers, the next Avengers movie, because it's coming out next year, and the multiverse. So let's look at the timeline here, shall we? So, and I'm naming every single project, by the way. So after Endgame, or let's be more specific. After Far From Home, because unfortunately that movie was the one that ended the. I don't even know why they did that. Why did they do that? Because that made no sense. They should have just had that movie come before, but whatever. I by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, I fucking hate Far From Home. But
me too.
So basically, let's look. So phases 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah,
that is the multiverse saga.
Yeah.
So I'm going to name every project, and I want you to notice a pattern here. I want you to notice a pattern. Okay. So WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Those are the TV shows. Movies, Black Widow, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Eternals, No Way Home, which, again, I'm going to... Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, Thor, Love and Thunder, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. And then TV specials, Werewolf by Night, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Oh, and then you also had I'm not done. I'm not done because I think that was phase 4. So phase 5 Phase 5, we also got Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Marvels, Deadpool and Wolverine, Captain America: Brave New World, and for the TV shows we had Secret Invasion, Loki Season 2, What If Seasons 2 and 3, Echo, Agatha All Along, and your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Ironheart. Can someone please explain to me, out of everything that I just named, do you notice how little those projects have to do with the multiverse?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not many.
And it's like the multiverse has been shoved into them.
Because phase one was setting up the Avengers.
Yeah.
That was basically setting up the Avengers. With the final movie of the phase, it ended up being Avengers. That was phase 1 was setting up the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Phase 2 was pretty much leading up to Infinity War. And what in the movies that we got that was the Infinity Saga, but it also was leading to Infinity War, and each movie had something to do with each other. Iron Man 3 leads into Age of Ultron. Thor: The Dark World leads into Infinity War with the Ether. Guardians of the Galaxy, the Power Stone. You also had Age of Ultron with the Mind Stone. Like, each movie had something to do with each other. Even though Civil War had nothing to do with the Infinity Saga, it splits up the Avengers to the point where they are apart in Infinity War. So even that had something to do with that phase. Phase 3. Yeah. Phase 3. Wait. I feel like I'm fucking up. I'm sorry. Phase 2. So basically, phases 2 and 3 lead up to Infinity War, and every single movie had something to do with the Infinity Saga. I don't mean to be rude here. What does Agatha All Along have to do with the multiverse? What does Echo have to do?
I've never watched it. I don't know.
We need content
because it wasn't bad, honestly. I didn't think it was that bad.
What does Hawkeye have to do with and I like Hawkeye, but what does Hawkeye have to do with the multiverse?
Not a damn thing.
Well, here's the thing with these new phases. The difference is they're trying to do too much at once. They're trying to give you the multiverse, the X-Men, the Young Avengers, Midnight Suns, Marvel Knights with the the street level characters. They're doing everything too much and not really having a much better plan and organize.
And be positive 99 is absolutely right. It's the game of cameos. The more look, kids, it's such and such. I mean, there's more cameos.
It's like Jay said. Phase 1 sets up the Avengers. Phase 2 and 3 is getting you to Endgame. And they had a 10-year plan for those phases. They knew where they're going with them.
Out of all the movies, all the movies and shows that I just mentioned, and I'm going to count them all. So basically, here are all the projects that have to do with the multiverse: WandaVision, Doctor Strange 2, Loki, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, or I'm sorry, it was supposed to be, but you know what happened.
That disappeared.
What If, even though What If is so goddamn bad, don't even get me started with that show. I guess Agatha All Along, because she was in WandaVision. I guess No Way Home and Deadpool and Wolverine.
Even though it was more a Fox film than an actual MCU film. But yeah.
But if correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, sorry, and the Marvels, because it does tease the X-Men.
Right.
So I think I just named 8 or 9.
It was 8. I counted 8.
Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything?
Was Loki season 2 part of multiverse as well?
Yeah, no, I said Loki. So Loki, I count like Loki's like.
Okay, no spoilers for Loki season 2 yet, though. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen season 2 yet, though, so no spoilers.
So I just named 8 projects, and I think I just named 8 projects that had to do with the multiverse, and we got possibly more than 25. Yeah. Do you see the issue with that? Yeah, I'm not saying that the phases need to have, and I'm not saying every movie has to deal with the multiverse, but you should have planned ahead of time. If you wanted to have the movies and the shows talk about characters and their respective stories, then you should have labeled phase 3. This is what you should have did. Phase 4 should have been the aftermath of Endgame. That is what it should have been. That is what that's what it should have
The
been. It should have been the
aftermath
And that's
saga.
aftermath
what
of
fans
Endgame.
thought it was going to be, the aftermath. Like, who's going to pick up the pieces? Who's going to be the next heroes to carry the Avengers mantle or whatever?
Like, this is the problem because we don't even know who's going to be on the Avengers team.
Yeah.
Because apparently Anthony Mackie's Captain America is going to lead the new Avengers. We don't even know who's going to be on the Avengers.
Apparently they haven't finished the script yet, and they're supposed to be shooting in April for Doomsday.
This is one.
I heard it's in March next month.
Yeah,
I keep hearing March or April, but I'm hearing April again. So who knows?
My biggest problem with Endgame is that it was so like they had the opportunity to make an entire phase off of that movie. They had so many opportunities and so many stories they could dive into, and they did nothing. Literally, we could have had an entire phase of everyone just trying to move on after Endgame. Everyone trying to move on post the snap. I'm not calling it the blip. No way, far from home. I hate the fact that you made that a coin term because that name sounds stupid. I'm not calling it the blip. I'm calling it the snap.
It was announced today that it's going to start filming in April this time, not March. They pushed it back.
Right. Like you had all these opportunities. You had these like the opportunity to talk about each character's story after Endgame and then recovering from the snap. Far From Home could have been such a great movie because he was recovering from literally dying and losing his mentor. But instead, we get a fucking road trip film. WandaVision could have been an actual story about grief. And even Multiverse of Madness talking about grief, but instead we want to shit on Doctor Strange for literally making a decision that he had no other choice to doing. And the entire movie is shitting on Doctor Strange for no reason, just because another version of him from a different universe did something bad.
Well, let's get back on this film, though. I mean, because
I'm sorry. I know we just
but I mean, just saying. I mean, to me, this. I don't know. I mean, the writing just seemed really lazy to me. Like, I don't get where you see any narrative cohesion here, Zach, because I mean, the edits and reshoots and all the rewrites and everything were just so fucking common. It's like they didn't know who to make the fucking.
What I mean,
but wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, damn it. Let me finish. I mean, you had Sidewinder, you had Thaddeus Ross as Red Hulk, you had the fucking leader. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's like, won't they make up their fucking mind? I mean, Jesus, it's not the first time they've shoved too many villains in a movie, but I mean, Jesus, I mean, this is certainly one of the most poorly times they've done it. One of the worst times they've done it, but go ahead.
But what I mean, though, is like for the overall universe, like this is the most cohesive as far as like trying to have a focus, like because so many of the projects after Endgame have felt so scattershot, no connection. Because like Jay mentioned earlier with the Infinity Saga, like even the lesser movies, there's always that connection. They were always building to Thanos, Infinity War. There was that cohesion. There was that connection. But here, you had She-Hulk, which didn't connect to shit, and Hawkeye, which didn't connect to shit, and I just liked narratively that this was actually addressing things from the past, even from movies I don't like. Like I hate Eternals, but there was that sense of cohesion there. Whereas so many projects in the past just felt like.
But at what cost, though, Zach? I mean, that's not narrative cohesion, though. I mean, because that just links to other movies. I mean,
the only reason they brought up the Celestial was basically to tease adamantium, and in fact, it's the fact that adamantium now apparently, I guess it's canon now. The adamantium comes from a Celestial. Like, it took a Celestial for adamantium to exist. I mean, hey, by all means, and that proves, and that's another problem. So now you're gonna tell me. You see why the whole multiverse saga is going to be it's fucked, because now, which by the way, I'm glad that the Fantastic Four is taking place in a different universe, because it wouldn't make sense for them to be in the main timeline, because you're telling me no one's ever heard of the Fantastic Four. Fine, where are the mutants supposed to come in? How are they supposed to come in? Because the next phase is supposed to be the mutant saga. So how are they supposed to come into the MCU? Yeah. We have a bunch of
and not only how are they supposed to come in. And not only how are they supposed to come in, but think of it this way. If it's all supposed to be the same universe, right? This is a universe where heroes and superpowered beings, for the most part, are celebrated and loved and all that. and then for all of a sudden to the majority of humanity to look down on mutants, kill the mutants, hang the mutants. It'd be like, where did this come from? What's any different with mutants compared to everyone else?
I feel like, I mean, I know the X-Men has always, I mean, they were always in the same universe. That's never made sense to me. I never understood how the X-Men can exist in the same world as the Avengers and all these other people, and yet the X-Men are still branded at are so heavily, discriminated against, even though we are literally living in the same world with Thor.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to say something. It's such a hot take. It's such a hot take. Now, you already know that I am a big fan of the Fox X-Men movies. But I'm of the mind that I think the reason it worked so well is because it was just the X-Men. It didn't have the burdens of having to coexist with the Avengers and all that. I think that X-Men on its own can and actually should be its own thing. No Avengers, no anyone else. Just an old world where the only heroes with powers are the X-Men, mutants.
Well, that's what they already established anyway. If you saw the Marvels and Deadpool and Wolverine, they established they're in another universe, multiverse world, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, they literally had the.
I mean, okay. X-Men '97 is that multiverse world that they're all in.
They already showed that in the Marvels too. I mean, with what's her name and in the universe with
Beast and
with Kelsey Grammer's Beast.
Yeah.
What I mean, because we're like an hour in, so I don't know. I mean, we've kind of been talking about we've been talking more about the. I mean,
we're gonna get Marvel and we're gonna get more shit. Well, yeah, basically more mediocre stuff for them. You got They're now working on Vision Quest. They announced something called Strange Academy. They're trying to do a Nova series. Then you got Ironheart coming out at some point. Then you got Wonder Man coming out at some point.
Oh my God! I forgot about Wonder Man. Oh my God!
They're scraping the bottom of the barrel here. This is my problem. They've gone through their best characters and everything. Just for crying out loud, I agree with John. This would be the smart thing to do, and that's exactly why I'm not sure they're going to do it. The smart thing to do would just to reboot
the whole thing. Yeah,
reboot the whole damn thing. Start over from ground zero with everybody. You got your characters back together again. At least you have the X-Men in there anyway. I don't know about Namor and how much you can do with Namor and Hulk, given that Universal still owns the rights. But I mean, shit.
I will say this though: if they're gonna make a Nova show, my fan casting, cast Xolo Maridueña as Nova. He was great in Blue Beetle. He could play both characters. I said what I said. Hey, Cobra Kai's done. Okay, I want Xolo to get more work. Okay.
I agree. I mean, he's fantastic. He's good. I'd again agree with B positive 99. The Thunderbolts does not look good to me. It just looks like it
looks mediocre.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on, how do you get excited for David Harbour as fat commie Captain America? I mean,
I like David Harbour's he's a charismatic guy.
I like him as a person. I mean, I love him on Stranger Things, but I've only liked him in one film outside of Stranger Things, and that was the one thing he did.
I do feel like the Thunderbolts could be something if they just play their cards right, because these are all characters from movies or shows that basically, I don't mean to be on the nose here, but they're basically rejects, because Yelena comes from Black Widow. That movie was trash. John Walker comes from The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That movie or that show wasn't really well received. Ghost comes from Ant-Man and the Wasp. That movie wasn't really well received. Then you have, I forgot Taskmaster, which it's so obvious that Taskmaster's gonna die. And honestly, that the character should die, because what the hell was that? And then you have David Harbour as well. So, and then Bucky. Bucky's pretty much the only guy that's ever been in a bunch of successful movies. I think this movie could be good. It could be good. I definitely would. The characters that I'm really interested in what they do with is John Walker, because I very much love this character in The Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I think the hate that he got was so unnecessary. I think Ghost might be pretty fun. They made Ghost look more threatening in this movie than they ever did in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yep.
Hello. And then
Hello.
and then you got Yelena Belova and Alexi. I mean, hey man, they're clearly going to be the heart of the film. And then you got Bucky. Everyone loves Bucky.
I mean, I just honestly don't know what Florence Pugh is even doing in the MCU. I mean, it's like she's slumming it. Honestly, I mean,
She's too talented. So Sebastian
She's too
Stan,
talented.
The two of them, they're like, why are you guys still doing this for a cash grab?
Seriously.
Just move on.
Exactly. Hey, look, Lego fan said a lot in all caps of people are stoked about Red Guardian. Lots of cunts. Yeah.
Okay.
Lots of
I mean, I will say this though.
Yes, I am insane Lego fan. Yes, I am. That's John.
I already said this. In the what to expect for 2025 stream. I've said this and I will say this again. Marvel this year, I already said if they can't go 3 for 3, they have to go at least 2 for 3. So this movie wasn't well received. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. I hate that this is the one that ended up not being well received, but it is what it is.
Well, Thunderbolt's being received the same way. I've heard recently that it's being received the same way as Brave New World, like it's being mixed.
Well, I hope the Thunderbolts ends up being the underdog. I really hope it does. But I am telling you.
Whoa.
And I love the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies.
Is your standard for super woke? I fear you may not understand what that word means.
Thank you.
I love the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies. But if the new Fantastic Four movie comes out and it is not good, and all we have to show for it is the Tim Story movies being the best adaptation of these characters, do you understand the outrage that's gonna happen?
He's right.
I'm not a
right,
listen.
folks.
I am not a bit. I'm not gonna pretend like I know anything about the Fantastic Four. I love the movies, but I know jack shit about them in the comics.
I like the first one.
I'm with wrong. The first one was okay. Rise of the Silver Surfer was absolute shit.
It fell off a cliff. Yeah, with the second one.
But there are. I know one of my best friends is a huge Fantastic Four fan, and if this movie sucks, he's going to lose his shit.
Which I feel like says a lot about me as a person.
Like this is equivalent to the Superman movie. If Superman sucks, there will be outcry. Because the Fantastic Four, you can't replicate it again. Because the last time we had a Fantastic Four movie was, let's not acknowledge what came out in 2015. It's already
X-Men is like that for me, man. X-Men's like that for me, where if they screw this up, then I am actually done with the MCU. I will not participate in it anymore. But yeah.
Yeah, Marvel, their backs are against the wall. Like they have to.
I agree.
Do well.
Like I say in my review, it's like I say in my review. It's not that the MCU has been all bad lately, because there's been some hits. There's No Way Home was great. I for myself really like Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. I really liked it anyway.
It's a good movie.
But it's been hit or miss. There's been some really good ones. There's been some hits. There's also been some really bad ones too. And it's hit or miss, but it's coming at a time when they can least afford those misses. This is a time when they need to be on their A game, giving the rising tide of Marvel fatigue specifically and comic book movie fatigue in general.
Well, what I see with the Fantastic Four trailer is that the quality looks like it's better than it ever was in years. So that's a plus for the movie. At least they put in better quality into their movie. It doesn't look like it was rushed or on a green screen.
All I gotta say is this: do not fuck up the Human Torch.
I will say that. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
He is my favorite member of the Fantastic Four. Please do not mess him up.
Chris Evans was too good in that because that guy has his work cut out for him because he was the star of that film. He was so good.
I'm going to give. I always keep forgetting his name. I keep forgetting his name.
Michael Chiklis?
No, Joseph Quinn. I'm going to give Joseph Quinn a chance. I'm going to give him one chance.
Oh, that's
Joseph, what is it?
Oh, I think
He's-
I think he's gonna kill it in this movie.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna be the
me
best part
because
of
me
this movie.
personally, my dream casting for the
He's
Human
good.
Torch was Rudy Pankow. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He plays JJ in Outer Banks. He literally is the embodiment of Johnny Storm. And yet they went with someone who's in his late in his early 30s. I wanted to hit a younger actor to play him. And then on top of that, I mean, I still am not a fan of Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic.
He
I'm
doesn't.
he's been in everything. Dear Lord.
Yeah.
I'm so done seeing him in everything. It's
Oh, yeah, he's
annoying.
overexposed.
Yeah. Although I will say that, I mean, I finally saw the trailer yesterday before the film because I still hadn't seen the trailer. It's not like I've been avoiding it. I just never took the time to watch it. And my reaction, I know this is coming very late, but I mean, I like the retro look.
Same.
I like the retro look. That is really cool. I love the
will give it a
look.
chance.
Vanessa Kirby as Mrs. Fantastic. Yeah, she's
People keep saying
yeah,
she looks pregnant. in the
fucking
trailer.
yes. She looks
This
she's seems fucking perfect. I love her already. I mean, I love Vanessa Kirby already. I mean, I love
American
Joseph.
sweetheart Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, John. Exactly. America's sweetheart.
Basically, and it's nothing against Pedro Pascal. I'm just
He's
so
a great
done.
actor. He's a hell of an actor.
I'm
He's
just
just
so
overexposed.
done.
Yeah.
I'm so
He's
done with
better
him.
than Marvel.
Like after the Mandalorian, it's like after the Mandalorian, he's been in everything. He was in Wonder Woman 84. He was in The Last of Us, which I'm sorry, I very much did not. I don't think he should not have been. He should not have played.
Thank you.
He should not have played Joel. It should have been Hugh Jackman. That literally was a role for Hugh Jackman to play, and they didn't give it to Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
He was in that movie with Nicolas Cage. He was in
The
Gladiator 2.
Gladiator was really
Gladiator
good.
2. I really like that.
And then when I found out he was
There's
casted
also
in
in
this movie,
Narcos. I mean, since Game of Thrones, he's been everywhere. Narcos.
Yeah.
Wonder
but
Woman
that was
84,
before
everything.
that was before the Mandalorian. I think the Mandalorian is what really made him a household name.
Yeah,
That was Game of
that's
Thrones.
when you
and
got
that's-
all those
you
like
got
20-year-old.
everything.
No, but I never heard of Pedro Pascal until the Mandalorian.
Okay.
Oh, I knew
Oh,
who
he
he
was
was.
Game of Thrones. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I knew it. Yeah, exactly. Game of
Yeah.
Thrones. I think
Game
that
of
was
Thrones
his big break.
it's what.
Yeah,
that's what
dear
pushed
God.
him to start.
Be positive. Please stop reminding us of Wonder Woman 84, man. You can't take it, dude. Please
But
stop.
yeah,
Get it.
but seriously,
I hate that. I hate that. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
but seriously, like it's nothing against Pedro Pascal. I'm just really sick and tired of seeing him in like
Johnson.
everything.
It's say. Oh,
And then
God.
with the Thing, I know people are memeing his eyebrows, but dude, it's comic accurate. I know
Oh,
people say
it's
just
Jack
'cause
Kirby.
I get that, but I mean, like John says, just because it's comic accurate doesn't make it good, man. I mean, come on.
I liked it.
I like it.
I don't even have it's not even so much the look for me, although I don't like the look, but I mean it's his voice too. It's like it doesn't sound right. It's just like his acting is like that doesn't that's not working for me. No.
Oh my God. I just remembered.
Thank you, Lego Fan 370.
Fucking
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. is still playing Dr. Oh
Yes,
my
exactly.
God.
That's my problem.
Who?
He's playing Dr.
All right,
Doom.
can we talk about that for a sec? All right, here's the thing, right?
Mac Universe.
Like,
That
dude,
makes no sense.
how,
It doesn't.
like, these movies, Doomsday and Secret Wars, could not be more narratively disconnected from each other. What relevance is Doomsday going to have to Secret Wars? It just feels like filler for the sake of having another Avengers movie before Secret Wars. Because
in the 2016, I think 2016 or 2017 run of Secret Wars, Dr. Doom was responsible for like that version. So I can see why Dr. Doom would be the leading cause of Secret Wars. But I still think that Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom is like so wrong on so many levels, and it just reads desperation. They're
Oh, of
desperate.
course. I mean, they didn't even know how Doomsday's going to work out. They haven't even finished the script yet. They're going into production in April, so I'm sure they have no idea how to bridge everything between this and Secret Wars and whatever else they're going to plan going to Phase 7, 8, and 9.
You know what? I was always, you know what? I really wonder what Dr. Doom's suit is going to look like. I swear to God, if it looks like an Iron Man suit, I'm out. I'm out.
I'm so bored with Robert Downey Jr. because the past 20 years of his career have just been
Yeah,
MCU.
I mean, dear God, he's
That's
literally
boring.
just.
He used to be such a good actor, and then
He is. I mean, it just he
doesn't do anything else.
But I mean, my God, I mean, the thing is, he had just literally just broken out of that mold. He got a fucking Oscar, man, for his appearance in fucking Oppenheimer. He was so great, and then he goes back to it. What the fuck are you, dude? Is this your new crack? I mean, come on, man.
Mark. Let's give Robert Downey Jr. Let's give Robert Downey Jr. some. I'm not blaming him because if a fucking listen, if they offered you the money that they offered him, are you saying no?
I mean, as much as he's got paid by them, does he really need it?
He has enough money from them, does he not? That's
Yeah,
what I was thinking. I was
Okay,
like,
but what's wrong? Wait, but hey, there's nothing wrong with more money.
I mean,
we've got to have money.
Yeah,
I mean,
80 million. Yeah, I mean, but dear Lord,
The only reason I'm sort of the only reason here's the thing. Look, it's desperate. I'm not acting like it's not, but the only reason I'm giving it some sort of hope is because of how well they handled Hugh Jackman coming back.
Yeah,
but that too. Like, I listen. I thought Deadpool Wolverine was fun. It was nice seeing Hugh Jackman again, but I can't help but feel like, again, it was just done to bring in more seats.
Yeah,
like I think Deadpool Wolverine was.
Let's be
You gotta
honest.
understand that it was
the movie. That movie.
You gotta understand though, it was something Hugh actually wanted to do, though.
I understand that, but just because
you did not. Hugh wanted to do it because of money. Come on, Zach. I mean,
just because
there was more story to tell.
It doesn't mean it doesn't ruin the ending of Logan. Because even though Logan isn't necessarily the end of Hugh Jackman's run in the main X-Men timeline, it was supposed to be a swan song for Hugh Jackman playing the character. And then you bring him back, it just makes it null and void. It's the same thing with Robert Downey Jr. We're not upset that he's playing a character. We're not upset that he's in the MC, that he's back in the MCU.
Well, for me, they did the thing that Chris Nolan refused to do with the Dark Knight trilogy, bringing back the Joker.
Exactly. Like, we're upset because even though he's playing, we're not upset that he's playing a new character. We're upset that not only is he playing Dr. Doom, you're bringing him back after killing him off in Endgame. Exactly. Even though he's not playing Tony Stark, he's basically in the MCU again, and it makes his death again null and void because they're going to play off of the fact that he looks like Tony Stark. They're going to do something with Spider-Man, and everybody else reacted to it. That's what they're going to do
right now.
That's what they're going to do.
We all know they're going to do that.
I didn't realize you had more than 2 friends with good takes. Wow.
Plus, how many bad movies he's done since Endgame outside of Oppenheimer? I mean, I can see why he would run back to them too.
Doolittle. That's the only one that I really know.
That we remember.
And I agree with Kaylee because Robert Downey Jr. is a good actor. I've seen him in other works. He was great in Zodiac. He was hilarious in Tropic Thunder.
Hey, look, I'm the only one old enough to remember him in the 80s. He was great in the 80s. I
was going to throw some new.
Was that Weird Science, for fuck's sake?
So it's unfortunate because again, Cillian Murphy was right there.
I don't blame him.
He was right there. Cillian Murphy was right there. Unfortunately, Mads Mikkelsen can't play Dr. Doom, but Cillian Murphy was right there.
My picks honestly would have been either Michael Fassbender or Giancarlo Esposito.
No.
Henry Cavill.
No.
Come on, Michael Fassbender would be a great one. He was a great Magneto.
I'm talking about no. Hell no. I'm sorry.
He suggested Giancarlo Esposito as Magneto.
Hell no.
I mean, honestly, I could see.
Not Magneto, Mark. I'm talking as Dr. Doom.
Was a great movie.
Yeah, no.
As Dr. Doom?
No.
Oh God,
no. I'm sorry.
I could see him as. There is
what the hell?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't want him as I don't want him as Magneto either. I don't want him as Magneto. Listen, and this is coming from someone who looks like this. Dr. Doom needs to be where is he from originally? Like the
Latveria. He's Latvian. Somebody that was very Eastern Europe.
Dr. Doom needs to be Latvian, and and Magneto needs to be a Holocaust survivor. I'm sorry.
I get you, Jay, but I honestly, the timeline doesn't.
Yeah, it's almost 100 years later now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It doesn't.
Fine. He can be. It can be from another universe. I don't care. I just don't want, like, people say, "Oh, Denzel needs to play Magneto." No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. There are certain characters where you can't change their origin. I'm sorry. There are certain characters where race swapping this and the other, it's not going to work. It's not going to work, and I'm sorry. I didn't make the rules.
But here. Denzel already said he's playing a main villain for Black Panther 3.
Yeah, good.
That slip, so we know where he's going.
And that's good. I don't want him to play Magneto.
I don't know. I think it depends. If you could make an alternate version of a character who's
maybe. I mean,
come on,
that's like what's next? We're gonna cast Tracy Morgan as Professor X.
There's a Nazi Superman, dude. There is literally a multiverse where there's a fucking Nazi Superman. We can have a black Magneto.
Are we allowed to say that on here?
Speaking of
Jay, sorry to disappoint you, but Tracy Morgan was Professor X.
I know no one caught my joke.
Right.
No one caught my joke.
I got it though. But come on though, give me that at least. Like Michael Fassbender.
But that's my problem.
I'm dying on that hill.
John said you could explain that shit away with magic and comics. You could invent a million excuses for Magneto to work in present day. But that's my problem. That's called lazy writing, lazy ass writing. I mean, that's what kind of takes people out of shit like that. Kind of like, gee, are they red? Gee, when did they become red? I mean,
yeah.
Anyway.
But we've kind of been talking about this for like,
we are
so off topic now. We are so off topic.
Oh, yeah,
but to get back to the main topic at hand with Captain America: Brave New World. I mean, listen, I liked it. Zach liked it. Mark didn't really like it as much. Rome didn't really like it as much.
Yeah,
it's mediocre. I did like it enough, but it's still a mediocre movie. I gave it a 5.5.
But all in all, we agreed on some things and we disagreed on certain things. But we didn't get toxic because we can talk about a superhero movie and not call it woke.
Exactly.
I'm looking at
you. Fucking thank you.
I'm looking at you. I'm looking at to all of you people who were hating on this movie simply because a black person was the lead and said it was
thank you. Anthony Mackie did fine. I mean, dear God, he was really good.
He was charming. He was fun. He brought his A game.
Yeah,
he was really good.
Wasn't good.
No, God, no. I mean, he was really good.
I just gotta say, I have to say it because literally, it's become this. It's become the new thing to basically call anything when a black person is in a movie. Oh, look at this DEI casting. When a woman is a lead, oh, look at this feminist bullshit.
Thank you.
And I'm like, dude. So basically, you're not even trying to hide that you're racist, sexist, homophobic, this, that, and the other. You're not even trying to hide it at this point.
Thank you. They're basically complaining because all the characters aren't white, straight, and male. I mean, shit, for crying out loud.
Like, seriously.
It's a Super Bowl halftime show. But you don't know, you know.
Oh, seriously.
Oh, yeah. If you know, you know.
Which I loved it.
Say.
Yeah.
Loved
Thank you. Thank you, Rome. I always knew you were for the people. Anyway, this movie, and yes, even though we all, criticize when certain things are, that's not to say that certain movies and TV shows don't get political. But we will criticize it within reason. We will criticize it within reason. Okay, we will not get toxic here.
Exactly.
So we will criticize things. We will criticize things in a reasonable way, and not because of the actress or because of the actor or because of the writing. We will criticize it because of the writing and what they are trying to do, not because of the person who's playing the character. So again, I said all that to say this. Can we please stop with this bullshit because it's annoying at this point now. It's basically it's okay. Apparently, it's basically if we have gotten to the point in our society where it's okay to basically be like it literally you can say you can mask your racism this and the other with just a random term and that's that.
Whoa. I mean,
Go
people
off.
just exactly.
Like I've heard it so much that I don't even know what it means anymore.
It doesn't mean anything. It's just something for them to complain about. That's all. It's just, yeah. But I mean, anyway. But I mean, yeah, I fully agree. I mean, I just cannot stand, and
Yeah.
There was no cinematic artistry to this film. It looked
Yeah.
like shit.
yeah, kind of does. They
There's
kind of
my
all look
t-shirt
like
put
that.
it. Yeah,
Red
I don't
Hulk
like
looked good. Let's give it that.
What's that?
But look, I'll give you that on a lot of the effects and the green screen at the fight at the end. I'll give you that. But Red Hulk himself actually looked good. Come on.
No, okay, Jack. Jack was like, I hated the way he looked because he looked too human.
Yeah, Jack
Yeah,
has.
he wasn't even that big. Pause, but he wasn't even that big.
Yeah,
He wasn't.
exactly. He's not. I mean, Digital Overlord said it best. Again, it's not because the character is lacking, because the storytelling is very weak, and I got
It really was.
storytelling. Is
Yeah,
very
of course.
It was something out of a walk.
I just see no reason. I mean, they're
Like
the whole animated
seriously,
thing was
like
unnecessary. That was a weak plot.
I thought the Hulk was supposed to be bigger, but anyways, all right, we're an hour and 30 minutes in. So any last words or anything that people want to say about this movie?
Fuck the MCU.
They treated Sam Wilson a second-class citizen in his own movie.
Yeah,
perfect.
literally. I felt like the
Perfect
movie wasn't
roles.
even about him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's good enough. It has flaws, but it has a lot of redeeming qualities. So I say give it a shot in a matinee.
Yeah, I'll give it a watch. Give it a watch. Watch it on your own terms. Don't watch it. Don't not watch it because someone is saying some bullshit.
Right.
Just watch it and form your own opinion. Because I've been on Twitter today and I see a lot of people saying it's good. So, but unfortunately, we're never going to see.
There
that
are a lot of people. Honestly, he's right, guys. Because I mean, there a lot of people like it. A lot of people don't like it. It's a crapshoot. You may like it. You may hate it. I mean, just
but anyways, for our next Cool Kids Live,
One more thing I want to add to this movie.
Oh.
You don't need to sit down and watch the ending credit. You don't have to sit.
No.
Literally just look it up on TikTok.
Yeah,
Just
literally
look it
a
up.
complete waste. I was actually loudly complaining walking out the theater. She could tell you, I mean, my daughter could tell you. I was like, that's it? That was bullshit. That's it?
Yeah.
What the hell? I sat through the whole credits for that?
But anyways, our next Cool Kids Live review I will be back reviewing it because yes, we're talking about it. We are going to be talking about Cobra Kai Part 3. And all I have to say is this. I was right all along. I was right all along. Everyone doubted me. Everyone said that this
for once we agree. Jay, for once we agree. I mean, dear God, I mean, this part was really good.
Everyone said that the season was underwhelming and shit. I was right all along. I was right. But yes, the next live stream we will be talking about Cobra Kai Part 3, season 6, Part 3.
And then the next movie review will be.
He's right.
I don't know what the next movie review is going to be.
Is it Monkey?
Hey,
the monkey.
hey, man! I can't help. Hey, man! I can't help that I look. Hey, man.
By Oz Perkins.
Come on, man! I know I'm black, but we don't have to start making fun of how I look and shit. God damn!
Oh God! I just caught that.
Yeah. Come on,
God.
It's not a Cool Kids Live review with me in it if I'm not making fun of myself at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm the only one that can do it. If John was here, he probably would be dying laughing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dear God. I mean, I just caught it because I'm slow, but I mean, dear God.
Yeah. But anyways, it is once again, it has been the world's biggest geek, joined by Rome, Scasology, Breakthrough Taste, and Kitchen Whiskey Jones. We are the Cool Kids, and we will see you next week. We will see you next week.